I can tell you I've had my fair share of questionable life choices, but none kicked my ass as much as the unquestionable ones, of which so much I could say, but for lack of proper context would sound out there. So I'll just say, I thank God every day, and we all owe it to our kids, and for them, always. Because when love has no game, and sometime can fly, or be lost, and or exchanged with a block. So, with a little emotional regulation, check-in, that's kids. All human youth are in a huge part the why, cause, and how. We all were once. So, this is something I wrote about going through my journey, and I have so much to say, like to sum it up, and I get stuck. And it's a huge part to do with like the awakening shouldn't be spoken about. It shouldn't be discussed. It's all very hush hush. And I believe honestly the reason for that is because while you're going through it, you can be perceived as, a bit imbalanced or misaligned, but it's only because shift in the way your brain's wired that usually what takes years and years of therapy and spiritual work and things like that can now be condensed in such a short amount of time for people who are on their own, going through trauma, isolated. There's so many reasons why people begin their awakening journey. Mine, after a lot of trauma, a lot of suppressed stuff that I wasn't dealing with for a really long time, and I refused to take medication. I was in a downward spiral and broke, and it got to a point where it's like nothing I could take was going to help. Nothing I could smoke, breathe, it didn't matter. I couldn't run it at, or I couldn't run away from it, or I couldn't follow my intuition. I couldn't sit in with anyone. It has taken a long time and still quite hard for me to get into words and a proper structure what I'm trying to get at. It's more, this is just my way of saying I get it. It's fucking hard, but once you do the work, it's so worth it. And I feel like it's a really important reminder to just trust in the divine. Trust that there is a plan and it only happens the way it's supposed to. Even the really bad things, they're not there to destroy you. Life works for you, not against you. That's a big one that I'm trying to make my normal. I think I'm so conditioned because of everything, and even with this healing journey, so conditioned in a way to believe that I need to watch my back constantly, and music and the news and stuff like that puts it out there that we need to be that way. We need to be so guarded in life. And then with all these signs, synchronicities, like stuff that you can't explain, and may even answer a lot of the questions to do with why people seem to be doing so many more crazy things and behaviors and violence and stuff like that. It's been proven that we're shoved into a low vibrational frequency in common society. So what happens when that starts to lift because of certain drugs, social media, drink, like who knows? Like, it is a massive focus on the divine and divination and angel readings, things like that have always been kind of pushed to the that's woo-woo, that's, you know, not the norm, is now becoming our normal. So if we don't learn to integrate the worlds, and if you don't believe in it, we're going to be left behind, because this is what we're coming into now. The 5D consciousness is very real, and becoming woke is no joke. So I just feel like, for the sake of our kids, for the sake of everyone really, I think it's important to come back to your center, focus on mind, body, spirit, and do it for our kids, because they are going to have access to so much more information. And if that's not being properly nourished and worked on in a healthy, balanced way, with us guiding them or people guiding them, I can only imagine how much worse the young crime rate, or the rate of people being checked into mental institutions, or just institutionalized in jails and things like that, when they don't deserve it. They can't explain what they're going through. Why? Because they trusted their intuition to go and do something without having the full information. Yes, dumb, but it doesn't mean they're crazy. And it doesn't mean they're necessarily dumb either. Like, man, if I could tell you the stories, the things that I have done, seen, been through on this journey to get to my focus, my center, and even now as I say that, I'm like, oh wait, hang on, I need to check in with my ego. Like, is it there? What am I focusing on? Because there is such a we are so conditioned in society to have this competitive attitude towards each other. And if we don't nip that, then what's going to happen? No one trusts anyone. We don't grow. We don't fully awaken to what is possible within this 5D consciousness. It's just such a fundamental part in growing our society in a balanced and more aligned vibrational frequency, in with care of who we're influencing and what we're actually doing when we become woke. So if this interests you, please follow me for more videos, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.